Your name?
Sure, my name's Arie Plusinick. I'm Community Arts Liaison at Creative Alliance. So part of my role is to help out the Artesanas Mexicanas, who are a really amazing group of women from Latin America, but mainly Mexico, who are really trying to maintain folk art traditions and teach them to the greater public and also to children as well.
So what are they doing right now?
So right now, Lilia and Flor are preparing piñatas. So we have the paper mache part where they start with a balloon that's blown up and then paper macheing with a paste solution that is made. You can see.
So that's
Flor, what are these ingredients here?
Okay, this is water, cold water, flour, and we need also hot water. Yeah.
And you make a paste.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the lime for anything?
We put together the flour with the water.
You stir it.
And mix it, and we put just 3 to 5 drops just for lime, and a little piece of the salt, and mix it. So when the when the water is hot, so we put the mix and then just turn on the heat for low for 2 to 5 seconds, and then turn off, and this is ready. Yeah.
Okay, so as she puts the paper on the balloon, what happens next?
Well, I believe, and you guys need to correct me if I'm wrong, so I'm just freeballing here. Once it dries and you get this sort of situation, you have the base of the piñata. You know?
Okay.
And then we go on and we can ask Lily what she's doing.
Okay, Lily.
Ahora yo estoy poniendo el papel para cubrir el cono, que no se vea el periódico.
So they put cones here, and then they put paper around the cones, and basically you want to cover up the newspaper that they're using.
So then how does it get to this stage?
Well, once this is complete, they'll put on this sort of cut. It's called papel chino in Spanish,
Right.
but it's really like tissue paper. So once it's all decorated, you just fill up your piñata with candy, and then you string it up, and then you.
And that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and then you hit it. Gotta get some.
Wow. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
To celebrate and to get our event started, I introduce to you Lafayette Gilchrist. Lafayette, yep, give him a round of applause. Lafayette is a self-taught pianist and composer and has made his home in Baltimore, where he's cultivated a unique sound and genre-defying live shows. Gilchrist has deep roots in the jazz tradition, and while attending the University of Maryland, Baltimore City, he apprenticed under some of the city's leading jazz musicians. Ladies and gentlemen, Lafayette Gilchrist. National Folk Festival is a tremendous undertaking, an effort and commitment to traditional arts and culture. And to tell us more about that effort in Salisbury, I'd like to introduce the mayor of the city of Salisbury, Jake Day.
Laura, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for having us here. We are incredibly excited. I am incredibly excited. Obviously, the National Folk Festival itself is a tremendous event to bring to a community like Salisbury. It's a tremendous event for Maryland statewide, but this moment and this partnership means so much to me and so much to all of us who traveled up here today from Salisbury and all of our friends back home. You know, Camden Yards is a signature facility. Our Baltimore Orioles are beloved, and we're standing here right now in Legends Park around statues like of the likes of Jim Palmer and Frank Robinson and Earl Weaver, and we are also in the midst of some talented legends from Maryland and from around the Chesapeake region, and each of them will be introduced in just a little bit. But before we get to that, what I want to do is just say once again, thank you to the Baltimore Orioles, and can we give a round of applause to our host, this great organization?
So I'm working with the Maryland Masters program, which is the folk life area in the festival, a very specific curated space that is highlighting Maryland Master and Apprentice teams that have been part of the program that Chad has been running. The Maryland Masters program is going to highlight the breadth and depth and vitality of the state's traditional artists. Over the years, there have been, I believe, around 150 master apprenticeship teams selected, and it was very interesting and difficult choosing that right mix that's going to be coming to the festival, celebrating both the western part of the state, the Appalachian area, down to the Chesapeake Bay, and urban areas like Baltimore. At the 79th National Folk Festival, you should get ready for as varied and diverse traditions as crab pot making. We are going to have traditional Ethiopian coffee ceremonies. If you are willing, we're going to have some Dominican barbers on hand ready to give you some fades and some really making you look sharp on site. We're going to have a celebration of Baltimore Maryland honky tonk and country traditions. We're going to have Lafayette Gilchrist and some other piano players on hand for some a celebration of Maryland piano masters. It's going to be a very diverse, fun, and exciting weekend in Salisbury, and we're so thrilled that you're able to support us. I know you've heard a lot from us talking heads up here. We thought it would be really interesting to get some of the master and apprenticeship teams up so we can talk to them and learn a little bit more about who they are and where they came from. So if you could give a warm welcome, let's get Joseph and Patrick Kavanaugh to join me up here. Your company built a lot of what we see behind us. Some of what we see behind us.
That's right. If it's bent steel or brass, or if it's a piece of bent metal, it's a pretty good chance we did it. In this place, almost assured, and throughout Baltimore, you know, that's what we do.
So you and Patrick are working on an apprenticeship focused on localized annealing, which is sort of at like a very dumbed down, easy way to think about it is you put some heat on a portion of metal and it bends.
It makes it bendable.
Makes it bendable, but
makes it malleable.
There's a lot more nuance than that.
Really, it is. What you do, your process varies from metal to metal, and a lot of it is you have to preserve the condition of the piece. You can't just blast it with heat because you might melt it, you might damage it, you might scorch it. There's a certain amount of subtlety and finesse. My father taught me a long time ago, 38 years ago, I suppose. And it's a tradition that's been passed down for us for about 5 generations. His father taught him. And they were coppersmiths originally, so that's where this all started from. But then over the years, they started doing brass, and then we started getting into steel, my father's generation, just because there was more work to be done. So the railings back there, the arch of that gate over there, the seating bowl, we had a piece of all that, and a lot of the signage around the stadium, and you know, all over town. We've done things for the Hippodrome and Parkville Theater and Columbus Center, and a lot.
So the piñata has a symbolism here. The 7 points mean or signify the 7 sins.
Las piñatas vienen de China y los trajeron los españoles a México.
Piñatas come from China and the Spanish brought it to Mexico.
Y las trajeron para ser usadas en las fiestas de Navidad.
And they brought them to bring for the Christmas parties.
Con colores vivos, colores brillantes, llamativos, porque la creencia es de que los colores vivos atraen el mal.
With very bright and brilliant colors, because the belief is that bright colors attract bad things.
La piñata se llena de fruta, tradicionalmente, que es jícama, naranjas, mandarinas, cañas, cacahuates y algunos dulces.
Traditionally, you fill the piñata with fruits, such as peanuts, which is a nut, but
We'll accept it.
Yeah, why not? Peanuts and a lot of traditional fruits that are found in Mexico. Oranges.
Entonces la creencia cuando las rompemos es de que nosotros cuando rompemos la piñata estamos rompiendo el mal, y cuando caen los dulces quiere decir que esa es la bondad que recibimos de Dios.
So the key to the piñata is that when you break the piñata, and when we break the piñata, we're breaking through the bad in life, and we are receiving in the candy and in all the good stuff inside all the good in life. So by breaking through the bad, we receive the good.